Greetings and welcome to Nathan Nile Official. If you've never seen my face in a video before, my name is Nathan Nile. This is my personal channel where I do vlogs, reviews, anything else that happens to catch my fancy. I just got home from work. It's been a long week. I got a few days off and I really am hoping to enjoy them. Some shit happened this week. First of all, there was a shooting. Okay, there was a shooting downtown, and I can't verify any of these facts. Here's what I was told happened. That some guy goes to Whataburger to see his girlfriend who works there, and then someone was flirting with her, so he pulls out a gun, randomly starts firing off 10 to 12 shots, and it's going into people's hamburgers or whatnot. And then once he realizes, shit, I just did something stupid, he tosses his gun in the river, makes a run for it. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Once again, I cannot verify that many facts of it, but because here's the thing, I didn't hear any of this. I was in the back working on stock. I come out of the elevator to bring some new merchandise down, and suddenly, I step out of the elevator, there's people huddled up in the corner, and they're asking me, is there a back door out? And I'm just nope. And they're someone's shooting, and I'm what? And honestly, I wasn't really scared. It was just this is this real? Is this actually happening? And then my coworkers tell me they didn't hear gunfire, but the people who were on the sales floor, the people just started running in, hiding. Apparently they heard gunfire out there, and so we locked the door. Everyone just sat tight until the cops gave the okay, and then we locked the doors. Everyone went home. But yeah, that shit like that happens. But yeah, I'm fine. All my coworkers are fine. From what I can understand, it's just one crazy guy did one crazy thing, and now life's back to normal. But yeah, that's the thing that happened. And also another thing, I didn't bring my wallet to work. Partly because I couldn't find it, but honestly I didn't look that hard. And I wanted to buy something. It's, every now and then you just want to get a thing of Skittles just because. But I was because I was trying to tell my coworker, hey, buy this thing because it's delicious, you'll enjoy it, blah, blah, blah. But then I realized, I don't have my thing. Hey, you buy it, I'll spot you on Friday. I promise I'll bring my wallet. And they're why didn't you bring your wallet? And I'm I just dropped $20 yesterday. I'm not made of money. I wasn't planning to spend anything for the next 2 weeks. And that's when I realized, damn, I'm broke. I spent a week planning out, preparing my coupons and planning out my purchases, so that I could get 60% off one major purchase, and then, not have to buy anything for the rest of the month. I'm set, I'm good, but it's life on a budget. You don't think about it when you're in the middle of it, but then someone else looks at your life and they're just shocked by how cheap you are. But hey, man, I'm out here doing my thing, okay? Alright, there's something else. I take notes on what I'm going to talk about sometimes. Oh yeah, the other two things, one of them, COVID is still a thing and it's still happening. And as long as it's still a thing, even though I'm alone in my home, and I have every right to not wear a mask, at least just while I'm doing the video, I'm going to put on the mask. Just, set an example. Because everyone wants to complain, but you know what? Hey, I'm sitting here talking, and you can hear me, right? It's not that hard. This is literally the least you can do. And you can save lives, but now we have, I think this week, we're having 2,000 deaths a day. 2,000 deaths a day. We have nearly 300 we have nearly 300,000 Americans dead, and people are still calling it a hoax. 2,000 people dying every single day. Hospitals are overwhelmed. The nurses and doctors who are supposedly saving lives, they're dying because they're getting overexposed to a deadly disease. And yeah, and I'm being told that, they're projecting it could get as high as 3 or even 4,000 deaths per day if nothing changes. And Biden's on TV saying, hey, like, when I get to office, I'm going to make sure people put on masks. And I'm like, that's all great, but that's a month away. How many people are going to die before then? Long story short, America is fucked. This whole country's gone to hell. I don't know, man. I'm trying my best to survive. Just living day to day. Trying to make smart decisions, But, like, I don't know. What you gonna do? Like, honestly, like, what can I do? Like, I'm sitting there clipping coupons so that I only spend $20 on a $50 purchase. And then I ain't spending money for the next 2 weeks. Like, I planned that shit out. I mean, how much can I really do, Other than just keep telling people to stop being idiots. And just hope that someone decides to listen. Anyways, we're going to leave you with a movie review because there's a train out there. Hopefully you can't hear it. So, I accidentally signed up for an Amazon free trial for Amazon Prime. So I figured, well, since I got it anyways, let's use it. And so I watched season 2 of The Boys, which was amazing. And I'm checking out other stuff, some TV shows, some movies, whatnot. Just let's fit in as much of this Amazon exclusive stuff as I can before this thing runs out. And I stumbled upon a movie called The Lie, which it's equal parts amazing and so ridiculous. It's one of those things that, like, I love it and hate it at the same time, and it's hard to put it into any one category. I thought about doing movie therapist for it, but my feelings are so mixed and I don't know how to talk about it without spoilers. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to spend the rest of this movie talking in depth, the rest of this video talking in depth about that movie. So if you don't want it spoiled, leave. See you next week. But here's the thing. The movie is called The Lie. And in all honesty, the title pretty much gave away the plot. Because I'm reading it and I'm wondering, but where is the lie? Because it's like, the story is there's a girl, she's hanging out with her best friend, and supposedly she accidentally murders her in a fit of passion. And then, like, the parents spend the rest of the movie trying to cover it up. And I'm like, let me watch this just to see where this goes, how they handle it. And, okay, the big plot twist is that at the very end of the movie, like, the girl that supposedly died, like, that these parents, in order to protect their daughter and keep her out of jail, they go and kill this other girl's father. And then the next day, the girl actually comes back and she says, oh, hey, I told my best friend to lie for me so I can spend the weekend with my boyfriend. And that's where the movie ends, with the parents realizing, like, oh, we're going to spend the rest of our lives in jail because of a lie our daughter told. But here's the thing, like, because the movie is called The Lie, I was thinking, what do you mean, the lie? Because it's talking about one specific lie, so where is the lie? And, like, as I'm watching the movie, I'm realizing, like, this girl's response is so inconsistent from one scene to the next. and we didn't actually see the other girl die. And so I was thinking, like, not even halfway through the movie, before anything really happened, very shortly after she died, honestly, I started thinking, did she actually die? Like, is that going to be the big plot twist that at the end, like after they spent this entire movie digging their own grave, trying to cover up, she's going to come back? And what do you know? That's exactly the fucking plot. The lie is when the daughter says that the friend is dead. And of course, the daughter, because throughout the movie, she decided to keep up the lie because, the parents are divorced, but they're actually getting along now, because they're working together to save her. And so she kept the lie up and just kept pushing it because she liked how well they were doing together, not understanding the consequences of how big this lie was getting and how much they were doing for her sake. They're lying to the cops. They're trying to get an innocent man framed, and all this other, and then they end up murdering someone, all for her sake. Which, in all honesty, I don't want to go to jail. Like, I've worked too hard to make a good life for myself, and I understand. It's not the same when you've actually pushed a child out of your body. But my first thought when this whole thing happened was like, fuck it, just call the cops and let your daughter rot in jail. Like, you don't gotta spend the rest of your life in jail for her ass. I know that's not gonna be the normal parent opinion, but like, that was my first thought. Like, the cover-up is always worse than the crime. So, like, unless you have the body and you can dispose of it so that no one will find it, and that you have great cover story, and if everything's like all of that shit worked out, just go to the cops, tell them it was an accident. And because, like, this is a teenage girl, depending on the state, she may or may not be tried as an adult. Unless it's hard to prove intent. But anyways, like, my review was that the movie itself isn't that bad. Like, it's amazing. They're all amazing actors. They gave some believable performances. Honestly, like, there were a lot of dumb decisions made, but they were realistically dumb. Because, like, I'm watching this movie and I found myself thinking, this seems like the kind of story that you would see Philip DeFranco covering on his show. This really does seem like this could actually happen. So, like I said, like, it's one of those things, like I want to say bad idea, but well executed. But that's also not the most accurate thing. Like I said, I think the title alone just gave away too much information. And without that, it would have been a much more intriguing movie. And the ending was just so abrupt and sudden. And it's like, the girl that's supposed to be dead suddenly shows up and is like, I just wanted her to lie so I could spend the weekend with my boyfriend. And they're just like, go home to your dad. And then they go to her daughter and she's like, confesses everything and is crying. And then it's like, you hear sirens outside and a knock on the door. And then that's the movie. And there's this understanding that, they just killed someone and they're going to jail for life because of your dumbass lie, and what's going to happen to you now, little girl? I don't know. But, like, it felt way too abrupt, but at the same time, where else could you go from there? Like, it might, like, for the story they're telling, it might have been the best ending you could have done. But, I don't know. Like, is it worth checking out? Like, there are better things you can do with your time. But it's like, I don't plan on ever sitting through it again. And, if you don't already have Amazon Prime, then it's not worth getting it just to watch this. Not like The Boys, but it's one of those things that, like, if you got Amazon anyways and you just need a way to kill an hour or two, why not look at it? I know it's not a rave review. I didn't hate the movie. Like, honestly, like, the worst thing about the movie is the title. The title gave away pretty much the entire plot. But yeah, I just felt like making a video today, talk about some shit. So, you go good night. Live a happy life. And until the next time I happen to see you, whenever that will be, have a good day, week, month, year, whatever. Good night.